year we're running a deficit budget. I can assure you, if you block losses, if you use debt, and at the end, within less than 3 years, would be in surplus. And the people of Uganda will be living a better life. That's why we say, have money in your pocket. How will you have it? If instead of spending 10,000 to buy one item, I'll spend 10,000 to buy many items, because the money will have value and there will be lower cost of goods and services.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. To be Jethro Kasaiji, I work with UPC. About governance and leadership, how do you intend to practically actually empower institutions of accountability, that is IGG, Auditor General, but also Parliament, to fight corruption? Thank you.
I think you know that I'm good at that. You are aware of the Chairman Park, where we heard the untouchables to become accountable. I am very good. We have the best laws in this country for Auditor General's Office, for IGG, for CID, mention it. The only thing is lack of will to support them. Because if the Auditor General produced a report that this such and such resources are missing, and you, the executive, does not implement it, it shows you are demoralizing an institution. If IGG produces a report and you don't work on it, you are demoralizing the institution. And also you must give them resources to do work. It does not mean that you have a dog you are not feeding and you assume it will look after you. It will look after the neighbor who is feeding it. So it is important that these institutions have laws, be facilitated, do work, and whatever they produce, act on it. And you need a man like Nandala to act on such, not the current president, because he has no capacity. Even now, public administration. Let me give an example, Parliament. Our Parliament is too big. Too big. We have created many districts, and whenever you create a district, you have a member of Parliament who is a woman. You'll have LOC5 and the local government. Why did we create them? Because of lack of service delivery. People were thinking if they create this, they'll have this. Parliament needs to be reduced. I can tell you this is one of the topics some people don't want to hear. I and my team will make amendments to ensure that districts are represented by 2 people only, one directly elected member of Parliament and one for women who represent for purposes of gender sensitive. That's why I have my wife here. For over 30 years we have been together because I'm gender sensitive.
I congratulate you, Mr. Nandara, on your nomination. So I'm grateful. I have 3 questions. Question number 1, we have leaders with masks. People put on a mask.
I'm not one of those.
Let me finish. Number 2, we are tired of deception. They speak as if they are going to do miracles to us. They don't do it. Sadly, we have a paradox of Africa, having everything and have nothing. You can't have everything and have nothing. How are you willing to change that? That rhetoric that the world has talked, that they have everything and have nothing. Number 4, how are we going to remove money from politics, which is a cancer and a pain?
Thank you very much. Let me give you one of the experiences which we have seen in this country. We have the best reports, but implementing them is not there. And many countries, including Rwanda, has got our reports and implemented them that have been a success story. Now, what is the reason? We can write well, but we cannot do work. Now you have brought a servant who can work. I can tell you, here is a servant you can rely on. I'll do what you are asking me. Removing money from politics is very important. You end up voting money instead of voting a leader. I am begging the people of Uganda, this election, kindly change attitude. You vote leaders, don't vote money. Because when you vote money, the person will tell you, I bought you. I want to ask you, of course, that's why we wanted to amend the Elections Act of Presidential and Parliamentary, that the President should step aside so that this election could be free and fair. Currently, the current government, cannot differentiate it from NRM and the government. They are infused together. And now when a president gets money to give an entity, he's giving it as a president and claiming it as an NRM. So these are things we must deal with. Now, money in politics, it's high time. Don't follow it. In any case, if somebody gave you money you never asked, if it's from NRM, that's your public resource. Eat it. But vote leaders like Nandala so that you can have better leaders for tomorrow. And I can assure you, if you vote a leader who is good like Nandala, he will do everything for you, and the money they paid you in 1 year, you will get it. In fact, they give you safe. Let me give an example, 10,000 shillings. Nandala is saying he's bringing 100 million in your village. So that means each every villager might get maybe 5 million. Why do you leave 5 million to go for 10,000? And the 100 million is from your state coffers. While the one who gave you 10 from state coffers has left the balance. These are things you should think about. Even when you're electing your leaders at low level, don't go for money. Go for leaders and you'll be safe. And this one, of course, we need to make a law to deal with voter bribery in an election. The other one that we are deceitful, there are people who are deceitful, they have a mask, and I am not there. I don't have a mask. I am a man we see. What I'm speaking is what comes from my heart. What I work, I can do it. And you know, whatever I've been given an assignment. Ask colleagues I've been with in civil service, I've been with in the World International Market, World Bank, in international world. Ask Ibugisu, I am a worker. If you give me an assignment, I do it. If you give me a bull, it will produce 10 cows at once. If you give me a stone, it will produce water. Give me an opportunity and I'll be there. I think those are the questions.
Okay. First and foremost, congratulations, Honorable Nandala Mafabi, upon being duly nominated. My name is Tracy Kansime. I work with NBS Television, and mine is about the building bridges, fixing those that have been broken. Your party itself is no stranger to factions, and whereas we've seen cooperation agreements, memorandum of understandings with the other members of various political parties, yours seems to be under your leadership and that of the Honorable Patrick Boya Muriat. It seems not to be the case. My question is, what are those strategies, concrete proof that you will be working to remedy, even within your political parties, those that have left and are yet to return? Because I think previously you said, let them go. And so I wonder if that tone or that rhetoric has changed, given the fact that now you're talking about building bridges and fixing those that are broken. Where do you start? Thank you.
Thank you so much. In 2001, I came to Parliament. We were in one-party system, which was called NRM. In 2004, we formed a party called the Forum for Democratic Change. I have been there since day one. I have never left. So that shows you I'm a consistent person. I was a Deputy Treasurer General of the party. In 2012, Dr. Biesige left the party, so they had to look for leadership. I contested with General Muntu and my younger brother Ekanya. I lost with 32 votes. I never left the party. And if you want to know, you could have tested, I would have left at that time because I knew I'd done well. I can't bring our internal issues here. In 2017, Poa, my big brother Poa, stood with General Muntu. General Muntu was a sitting president of the party. Poa beat General Muntu with over 300 village votes. Recall, during the campaign of 2012, they were calling me a villager, which I like. 2017, they called Poa a villager. So the villager beat a town person. Now, when he won that election, General Muntu decided to leave, to go and form a party called ANT. I'm hearing unfortunate stories about it, that they cannot even go to villages and get whatever they are supposed to get. But that's not a big story. So General Muntu went. In 2021, we went to an election. You remember it was COVID time. It was not an election. my party president who stood power, whom I have respect for, whom I must thank for saving us, he calls it a military operation. We lost. I hope this time there is no military operation. We're here for this election. So that clearly shows which man I have been, consistent. I have never run away. And in 2016, we supported Dr. Besigye. Now, there are colleagues in their lives. They are either leaders or no, they don't want to be led. Unfortunately, that's what happened. And that's why when you see some of them running away, that is the reasoning. They don't want to be led. They want to be the only ones at the what? At the helm. Unfortunately, where they have even gone to lead, they have become, I don't want to mention. Look, for example, let me give an example of PPF, which we are talking about recently. You know, my brother Lukwago is the president. My brother Semuju is the Secretary General, mobilizer, spokesperson, mentioned it, he has more than 4 portfolios. When they wanted to put a candidate, none of them came up. They wanted to remain road mayors. They wanted to be members of what? Parliament. That means for them, they are more comfortable to be at the helm, but not to show what it is. I was waiting forward to see Lukwago standing as a what? A presidential candidate. I'm here, he's crying here to be a what? A road mayor. And in fact, I want to ask people of Kampala, such leaders don't trust. They can be very dangerous to our country. But in that context, that applies also to my brother Semuju, whom I thought would be. Now, so they went wanting power, and they have got it, but they have failed to execute what they are supposed to do. That means if we had given them leadership, FDC would not have had a presidential what? Candidate. Are you getting us? They would not have had a presidential what? Candidate. If they were going to have, they would have demonstrated with PPF they have. So all those stated and said, we are not bad. Those who went with them, some of them were misled. But we want to ask our colleagues, come back. Come back. Come back. We need to move forward. The journey to the struggle for our liberation is a longer journey. Of course, others will reach, others will drop off, but others will join. I ask more to join. I want also more to come and support us, even from other parties. So the bridges I'm building, everybody is free to come with us. And that's why I call on everybody in Uganda to support me. Under the bridge, I will work for everybody. Ask anybody, wherever I've worked, if I've ever been sectarian, I have ever been tribalistic, I've ever been anything of that. When I was in the leader of opposition, my driver was from West. My bodyguard was from Acholi. Are you getting this? When I was in my offices, when I worked in finance, my secretary were from West Nile, they are what? That's me. Even today, they have given me guards. Akelo, Omoding. I would have asked to give me these ones. I'm not that category. So this is the only nationalist you have. And I can tell you, I am ready to build the bridges. And those which are spoiled, I'll repair.
Thank you so much, Honorable. Nzetera kaya nkola ne Bukedde TV ne Bukedde Fama. Honorable akalulu kano kemuzeemu. Bemuvuganya nabo aba NRM. Balinayo munaddala mu local government. Abantu be bayisaawo unopposed. Nga kitegeeza FDC teyasobola kusimbayo muntu. Ekyokulabirako district y'e Sembabule yayisaawo chairperson owa LC5. Naye ng'ate amaanyi g'ebibiina gatandikira ddala eno wansi. Nga mulina ebitundu gye mutalina wadde abeesimbyewo. Akalulu mugenda kafeffetta mutya era musuubirayo obuwagizi?
Nziremu mu Luganda oba mu Luzungu? Webale. Sembabule nayo muganda wange bamuyita Ssekikubo Theodora. Waki wa NRM. Weyesimbawo mu primaries. Ndowooza abantu bafa. Abantu bakola ki? Bafa. Ebiriyo ebitundu ndowooza emundu yefuga. Ekyo kyonna okugamba nti ensi eno tulina okujja emundu mu byobulonzi. Bwe tugenda okuteekawo abakulembeze baffe tujjewo emundu. Sembabule tulinayo abantu b'ebibiina nga FDC bangi naye bakyakukola ki? Okufa. Kyoba olaba bagamba kabagende. and ekintu kyolina sure wadde mugenda ojja kutuuka ekiseera ojja kufa. At least that's a sure deal. You will die. But why should you kill somebody because of what? A vote. So ebyo ebitundu biliyo abantu baffe babatiisa buli kaseera. Ky'oba olaba twagala tusaba electoral commission ekomeo etuyambe ekole voter education buli mu kitundu. Olaba twagenda ekotido naffe ne tubeerayo ne bakansala baffe bayita opposite oba okimanyi naye ebiseera byabwe nga tebabakkiriza okuyitawo kuba ffennyini twaliyo. Ekyo kikulaga naffe duliyo ebitundu bye tuyise ani unopposed. Lwaki oleese Sembabule n'otagambako ebitundu ebirala? Naffe waliwo abantu baffe naye ffe tetukozesa ki mundu. Theodora bakozesa emundu ndowooza omanyi byavaamu oluvannyuma. Akaaba wa FDC neda wa NRM. Twagala kusaba NRM edde mu nkola ekole ebintu bulungi.
Thank you, Honorable. My name is Aloysius Byamukama. I am from Mama FM, which is a women-focused radio station. I have seen your position on agriculture. And now, a question in me, it is kind of a global conversation on climate change. We have seen a lot of changes, including the agricultural harvests reducing totally. We have seen waters actually coming to settlements where people are. We have seen mountains in this country becoming so bare, a lot of sunshine, a lot of changes. Let me know your stand on this question about your climate change plan.
First of all, climate change is my main interest. Maybe if you want to know, by master's, my dissertation was on environmental. And I even said that unless we settle climate change, we're going to have disasters in this country. It's one of the themes at international level. So we must have financing in the environment to ensure that we deal with this environment. But who are destroying the environment is the developed countries. And we must deal with them. Either they pay for it or not. But also, by the time they do it, what are we doing as Uganda in our country? We have cut forests. We have cleared swamps. That's why you see silting of the roads and the land. If you go to Nakao when it has rained, that place used to be a swamp. Now water floods. There's a lake over there when it rains, and it has taken people. That is us ourselves. If we're doing it, what solution did we put mitigation solutions? So on environment, I want to tell you that I and my government, if you give me authority, will be our priority to ensure we have a better environment for our country. So we'll invest in it, we'll educate people about it, and when you invest in environment, you're improving the health of the people, you're improving agriculture. Let me give you an example. When you breathe out, we breathe out carbon dioxide. What you breathe in is oxygen, and oxygen is produced by plants like trees. So if you cut trees and you breathe out oxygen, there will be nothing to absorb that carbon dioxide. That in the end, you will breathe in the same carbon dioxide, which is dangerous. And that's why you see there's a lot of diseases caused because of such things. So we need to make our country green so that we're able to have healthy bodies and also to ensure that agriculture also thrives. I can tell you, you're talking to a student and a practitioner of environment. In the global market, of course, you are aware, under COP, I am one of the members on the finance committee on environment. And whenever I'm there, I am advocating for it. This year it will be in Brazil. Unfortunately, I will be in the campaign. I will not make it, but since you are good, I might nominate you to represent me.
Thank you, candidate Nandala Mafabi of FDC. I am Farida Rule, the Executive Director of Ushahidi Foundation Uganda, and I am observing this process. I have 3 questions. One, what is your plan for the shrinking space for the civil society organizations currently in Uganda? 2, this I'm going to use Uganda. nkimanyi bulungi nti oli muntu wa byanava oli mu economist mulungi. Tax policy yo egenda kubeera etya? Tax policy eriwo kati saawa zino ekusanyusa oba tekusanyusa? Let me give you one example. Nze bwe manfunye omusaala bwe gutropinga ku account yange nina okusasula pay as you earn nensasula NSSF. Bwe zivaako ne zigenda nengenda okuzijjako nina omusolo omulala gwensasula. Bwe ngenda mu supermarket ogulira abaana bange ebyokulya nina omusolo omulala gwensasula. Bwe ngenda mu katale nina omusolo omulala gwensasula. Kwegamba government eri kunyunyunta abantu abatono ennyo nti be bali okufujjirira n'olaba nti omukyala atunda amenvu capital we wa $200 naye nga still government emulilayingako okubeera nga asasula omusolo. Kakati gwe nga candidate otegese otya okulaba nti okozesa ebyo? Tulina amafuta, tulina gold, tulina so many resources. Otegese otya? What is your plan okulaba nti nno tonyigidde government tenyunyunta abantu ffe abawansi okuba nti nno tugirabirira kubanga we tutuuse tulina development. Ekyokusatu, embeera eyaliwo mu 2021 using owalaba abantu abamu omukyala yafiirwa omugulu nga security ekosezza amaanyi mangi n'omukyala omulala yafiirwa omwana we. Kakati nga gwe nga tonaba kwenyigira mu kalulu oteeseteese etya okulaba nti embeera eyaliwo mu 2021 tesobola kubeerawo mu 2026? Osobola okuba nti ogenda kuteeseganya otya n'omukulembeze w'eggwanga aliwo kati okulaba nti embeera eyo tebeerawo?
Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Can I answer this because I may forget?
Okay.
The last one, he was asking security. Embeera ki tugenda kugikola? Ndowooza ekyo ekibuuzo kya Electoral Commission. Ine kulaba eti elections zibeera free and what? Fair. Naye tulina okwogera nga abasimbyewo tulabe nti security tegenda ekola ebintu ebitali bituufu. Era tusaba security organization, tusaba Electoral Commission, tusaba President wa Uganda naye candidate alabe nti elections zino zibeera free and fair. Kijja kumuyamba for credibility purposes. Tax base gy'ogambye ffenna tugimanyi. Ndowooza oyogedde ku muntu amanyi bintu bya tax base, an expert internationally. Bw'obeera ne tax base entono ojja omusolo mu bantu batono ate oyagala by'okukozesa bingi. Ky'oba olaba olina okukola tax base n'ebeera ennene omusolo ne gubeera muki mutono. Bimu by'osabye by'ombuulidde pay as you earn eyo ekituufu musolo naye NSSF si musolo. Ezo saving zo bw'onaatuuka emyaka 5 mu 5 ojja kugenda mu NSSF bazikuwe ne interest. Ezo tezoogerako, ezo zizo ziterese tuna ne interest. Naye zogambye pay as you earn kikulaga nti bakulekerako okusooka bayita threshold. Kati bwe zirinya waggulu noba kujjako omusolo nga osasula nga bw'okola nga bw'ofuna pay as you osasula nga bw'ofuna. So the high ente zange zino zensasula zikola mulimu ki? Ekyo kyekizibu kuba ezisinga bazikolesa bubi, bazibba, bazikola ebintu ebitagasa mu kifo ky'okukoma mu economy zikole emirimu ezo ziyambye abantu ziyambe economy ekule so that economy bwekula omusolo abantu amusolo bwe gunaabeera mutono no productive sector yeyongere tugenda kukola sente zo disposable income. Disposable income is income oba omaze byonna ebeera mu makono go okukozesa ejja kuba nyingi lw'ensonga nti bwe sector bwe zikola bulungi sente zibeera nyingi abantu babeera ne disposable income nyingi mu kifo ky'okugula hafu kiro y'esukaali ojja kugulanga kiro 2 n'embeera yo nayo ebeera ennungi. Ekyo kiraga nti nawe base yeeyongera kuba kati omusolo gw'ogenda okusasula ogenda kusasula ku kiro 2 mu kifo kya kusasula ku hafu kiro kubanga eyo naye bagiyita widening the tax base. Bw'ogula ebintu bingi omusolo gubeera mungi naye gubeera wadde mutonotono naye ebintu bingi zibeera nyingi okusinga okugula hafu kiro omusolo gubeera at high rate naye nga musolo muki mutono. So productive sector zenkogugambyeko zigenda kweyongera. Kati gw'ofuna olaba threshold entono kubanga abantu bebandifujje mu musaala ne bajjako omusolo singa babadde bangi okifuna pay as you earn yandibadde wa wansi naye kasita mwe muli batono aba earning income kyoba olaba paya as you earn ebeera waggulu. Ekyo kitugenda kukirwanisa tukole economy abantu babeere n'emirimu ab'emirimu babeera bangi tubajjako omusolo nagwo mungi. Kyogambye nti civil society is your right kiri mu constitution article 28-29 freedom of association, freedom of speech. This is the president should bank on, who will ensure the freedom of speech, freedom of association. The public must speak. The media must speak. And I want to tell you that constitution was a good constitution. And I want to state one of the items which shall be on our agenda, number 1, is to restate term limit of a president, to cut powers of a president. Those are the things you must do. A president must be a worker, not a boss. Mama mbuliza bisatu. Nibizemu?
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, as you deserve to be called. I'm Julius Mugaga Tukachungura, and I write for an online paper called Umoja Standard. I come in the line of policies. We know agriculture is the backbone of Uganda, and for any country to grow, it must focus on